Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching his truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Akawasap. Today's lesson is entitled Restoration of Jacob, and Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. And as always, the sit-downs, the lessons, the street speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel, the Most High, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect. So once again, restoration of Jacob. I got the word restoration here.
Restoration.
It says the action of returning someone to a former owner, place, or condition. So we're going to be set up to be the top nation on the planet Earth with the Lord dealing with us heavy. Entry 2, the return of hereditary monarch to a throne. We're going to be returned to that position of power. A head of state to government or regime to power. Reinstatement, you see some of the synonyms there. Repairing, all right, reconstruction, remodeling, updating, rehab. Most High is going to give us that spiritual facelift. He's already doing the spiritual rebuilding right now, which is through this word. So the restoration or the repairing of Jacob. And first and foremost, the repairing starts off with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I want to go ahead and establish that first here in Psalm 107, verse 20. This is Psalm 107, verse 20. It says, he sent his word and healed them. When you're healed, you're restored. You're no longer dealing with a dis-ease or discomfort. All right, he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destruction. So this word, all right, has the healing. That's the beginning part of the restoration. All right, let's go over here to Baruch real quick in the KJV. And we're going to read this in Jeremiah 30 because this is very comforting for the elect. This is Baruch chapter 3. I want to say it's the end of 4. Baruch, he was an understudy of Jeremiah. Baruch in the Hebrew is Barawak, which means blessing, right? Here's Baruch chapter 4. Let's see if we can start up a little bit. Let's start at 33. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, talking about the whore, the harlot, Babylon the Great, and which is ruled by Esau, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And that's what we see now with the Lord bringing these prophecies to pass, you know, and these different things is shaking up the vibration of this place. The rejoicing of her great multitude is changing. People wearing masks, and they got to do this and do that, get these jabs, the cost of living, inflation, a looming famine, you know, all these different, you know, policies is taking place. You know, that's taking the rejoicing away from these people because things is changing. The world is changing. And what people pride themselves in is going to be turned into mourning because everything that these people thought was right is going to be found out to be wrong. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, that thermonuclear destruction, as well as the laser beams out of the chariots. Long to endure. And she shall be inhabited. The devil's a great time. So after Babylon the Great is destroyed and the fire eventually stops burning, you're going to have these desert-like creatures inhabiting this place. Isaiah 34 goes into that, as well as Revelation 18 goes into that. O Jerusalem, or Yerushalayim in the Hebrew, look about thee towards the east. Why is it saying to look about thee towards the east? Because we're predominantly in the Western Hemisphere. And behold, the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west, because we are scattered by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. So the elect is going to be brought together by the word of the Holy One. Why? Because his word has healing in it. It has that restoration, or it has that repairing in it. Now, ultimately, we will get the kingdom of heaven, which is rulership of the Israelites in earth. But before then, this word is what the elect is going to receive that salvation. All right. So let's go ahead and go to Jeremiah 30. This is not a long lesson. We spoke a little bit of this on this at camp this week. Sometimes out there on the highways and the byways and at camp, you hit certain topics. You may not be able to go in fully on it just because you out there, you going through the spirit. But when we do these lessons, we can actually sit down and get all the meat off the bone. So this is Jeremiah 30 and 17. For I will restore health unto thee. Actually, it started at 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversaries, every one of them, every last one of them, shall go into captivity. They're going to go into slavery. When we say these nations is going into slavery for all the ill dealings that they have done unto the children of Israel, we're justified in saying that because it mates up with the prophecies. Every nation. Because as it is written, what nation have not taken of her spoils? All these nations have done some type of wickedness to the children of Israel. So everyone, all thy adversaries will go into captivity, and they that spoil thee will be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give unto the prey. Why? Because seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation unto them that trouble you. All these people is going to get paid back for what they've done. For I will restore health unto thee. Like we was mentioning earlier, the restoration, it starts off with this word. We read Psalm 107 verse 20. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from all of their destruction. For he will restore health unto thee. Starts off with this truth. And I will heal thee of thy wounds. The wounds is the curses. All right, if we go over here to Isaiah real quick, it speaks about how the whole head is sick. Isaiah, or Yeshaya in the Hebrew, he was a prophet during the time of kings. He was King Hezekiah advisor. This is Isaiah 1 and 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone way backward. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Why should I prevent you anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. The whole heart is faint. All right. All right. The head is Judah, and the heart is the rest of the tribes. So the whole children of Israel is sick. All right. They need the healing. All right. Which the healing starts off with the word from the sole of the foot even unto the head. There's no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Why? Because like we read in Deuteronomy 28, and we're gonna go back to Jeremiah 30, but in Deuteronomy 28 and 64. No, I'm sorry, not 64, 68. It says this, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, transatlantic slavery. Israelites coming from the west coast of Africa and selling to the Americas. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, talking about our land. And there, talking about Egypt or America, ye shall be sold unto your enemies. All right, and when you read Psalm 83, it goes into all our enemies, and the first nation of people that's on that list is the Edomites. So we were sold to these Edomites, which are our enemies, and as it is written, thou shalt not trust your enemies. For bondmen and bondwomen, slave men and women, and no man shall buy you. When you go into this word buy here, we often quote it, but this is a perfect time to actually go into it. This is the Blue Letter Bible, which allows us to go into the languages the Bible is translated from. When you go into this word buy here, we come to the Hebrew word qua na, to get, acquire, create, buy, possess. Basically to redeem, to save. No man is going to save the children of Israel, but the Lord Yahushua himself, which he's mighty to save. So when we go back to Isaiah 1:6, it says, from the sole of the foot even to the head, there's no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Nobody came to heal us. Nobody came to restore us from this cursed state that we're in. So that's why we read about the restoration of Jacob, the restoring of Jacob. And it's going to start off with this word, and then Yahushua is going to come with power and great glory to deliver the elect and establish the kingdom of heaven, which is rulership of the Israelites in earth. All right, that's going to be the ultimate restoration. So let's keep reading here in Jeremiah 30:17. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds. The Lord is going to heal us of these bruises and these putrefying sores and these wounds. Saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And these nations, they talk big shit against us, especially at these meetings, these yearly annual meetings that they have. They look down on the children of Israel. They look down on us. This is Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They clapping. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Are these is the righteous people that the Lord is dealing with, that gave them the law, the statutes, the commandments in the land of Israel and great power? They talk shit. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They all talk shit. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found it. We have seen it. So they was waiting for us to go off. But what they not waiting on is the restoration of Jacob here. 18. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents and have mercy on his dwelling places. So according to the prophecies, the Lord is going to free us from this captivity and have mercy on our dwelling places, our land. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap. Our land is going to be builded back up where it's at right now. And the palace shall remain after the manner thereof, and out of them shall proceed thanksgiving in the voice of them that make merry. So out of them, which is Jacob, the Israelites, Zion. Well, Zion is a title, goes back to the Hebrew word to Zion, which means monument or memorial. Out of us is going to proceed thanksgiving in the voice of them that make merry. We're going to rejoice in the kingdom and will multiply them. The Lord is going to increase us, so sex will be in the kingdom. And they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small or insignificant. We're going to be so great and cover the earth as sand. Let me see if we can... You see here in the CSB Christian Standard Bible, thanksgiving will come out of them. A sound of rejoicing, I will multiply them. They shall not decrease. I will honor them, and they will not be insignificant. We're going to be so great in the kingdom when the Lord restores us. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me. I will punish all that oppress them. So all these nations that come against us, which these nations ain't going to come against us as far as forming militaries and so on and so forth. But as you read over here in Zechariah 14, if they ain't keeping these high holy days, then the Lord is going to cause famine to happen to them. So that's that oppression that we reading about. This is Zechariah 14 and 16. Slocky. Step oppression that the Lord is going to bring. And it shall come to pass, future prophecy, that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the feast of tabernacles, which we just kept at. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth, talking about these heathens, unto Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. So the Lord gonna send that famine, because we needed the rain. See, now in Babylon the Great, which is America, and all throughout the world, you can have irrigation systems that can water your grass You can pull your water hose out, water stuff, But see, in the ancient world, we depended on rain. We depended on the dew in the morning. So it's gonna go back to that. And if they not coming up to worship the king, the Most High ain't gonna send them no rain, meaning they're not gonna have produce and crops and so on and so forth. So that's a famine. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not to have no rain, there shall be the plague, wherewith Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. So the Lord gonna be oppressing them. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of the nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto Yahweh, and the pots in the Yahweh's house shall be like the bowls before the altar, full. Yet every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto Yahweh of hosts, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take them and seeth therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh of hosts. All right. So that's that oppression that the Lord is going to be doing to these nations. All right. That came up against us. Back in Jeremiah 30 and 20, their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. You ain't coming to come worship the king, the Lord is going to punish you. And their nobles shall be of themselves. All our high-ranking men that's in top positions are going to be other Israelites. And their governors shall proceed from the midst of them, same with our governors, and I will cause them to draw near and shall approach unto me. Because how do we get close unto the Lord? We're going to be able to be close, or the tabernacles of Yahweh with those new bodies. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that is. For who is this that engages his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, talking about the aircrafts of the Lord, which these Edomites and the people of the world calls them UFOs. A continual whirlwind. Why? Because they spin. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. Read Habakkuk, the 3rd chapter. Goes into the prophecy of Yahushua coming on these aircrafts, destroying shit. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, until he have performed all the prophecies, until he have performed the intents of his heart. Salakia, I jumped the gun. Salakia, I'll read that from the top. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. Have all the prophecies fulfilled. In the latter days, ye shall consider it. So the prophecies speak about a restoration of Jacob. Well, it doesn't say restoration, but it does say, I will restore health unto thee. And it starts off with this word, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and ultimately the kingdom. So there's restoration had for Jacob, and that's comforting. Lord willing, you are edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son. Double honors to our elders and apostles, great millstone that taught us the truth. Shalom, Washabah, Shalom, Akim. Stay strong.